you're watching first responders from the Somerton Cocopah Fire Department using a mechanized chest compression unit.
It is not going to replace the skills of cardiopulmonary resuscitation,
but it is going to be an extra set of hands to help save lives. Javier Hernandez, this is your department, and now you've just had training. Your team has had training on using what's called the Lucas 3. How is this going to change the game for first responders when people are having cardiac arrest?
So what it's going to be helping the community is that it's going to be sort of an extra set of hands that we can actually have in the ambulance. So before we would take multiple people in the ambulance, now it's going to be with the Lucas device. And it's also a benefit for the patient because the number one thing when somebody goes into cardiac arrest are the compressions. So with this device, we know that they're getting 100% correct depth and rate of a compression.
And let's take a look at the hard numbers. According to the National Institute of Health, 356,000 cardiac arrests take place outside of the hospital. 350,000 of them each year, about 1,000 each or 1,000 per day. That means that 90% of those people die, and this is going to change a lot of lives for people. Mike, you served in the fire service in New York. Tell us what it was like responding to a cardiac arrest before the advent of devices such as this.
So, depending on the situation, and the runtime, you might be, chest compressions might be 10, 15 minutes before you got there, and then you're picking up chest compressions from the bystanders, and then when you get to the hospital, this device, so just picture that we get to the hospital, and now we have to take the stretcher out, continue compressions. Multiple times I've had to link my legs inside of a stretcher and continue compressions inside the hospital right into the ER. So this is going to help because think about the transition from getting the stretcher out. You might lose chest compressions where you're doing 100%. This is going to be 100%. When I get tired, sometimes you might be doing 90%. That's still bad, right? 100%.
Absolutely. Tell us what it was like as a firefighter when you had to do this and you were racing to get to the hospital and get in the ambulance.
So you want the best outcome for the patient, right? And I think this device is going to be the best outcome because it's not going to get tired. It's not going to maybe not be doing the proper chest compression. So I think this device is going to be a game changer for the city of Somerton, the Cocopondian tribe, and all the agencies that will benefit from it.
And Jackie, you just completed training with the Somerton Cocopah Fire Department on the Lucas 3 system. Tell us about the origins of this.
Yes, so the Lucas originated in Lund, Sweden about 22 years ago. So it was first brought to market in 2003, and it has adapted and changed. It used to be a plunger system and used compressed air to bring that plunger down. Now it's fully run off a battery and is connected to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Lund stands for Lucas University Cardiopulmonary Assist System, and has completely changed the game in the pre-hospital space. So much so that the Lucas is now even seen in the hospitals and in emergency departments to help give that extra set of hands and give that perfect, consistent chest compressions, no matter the time or day. A lot of people code in the middle of the night and are tired. We don't have full staffing, and so this, like they said, gives an extra set of hands and gives that consistent CPR every single time.
And it was a professor that invented this unit. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so he invented it at Lund University, and that's why they named it the Lucas. And they've just kind of stuck with it through for the 22 years. And it's the most, we have the most market share in the United States of 82% of Lucas, and it is used globally around the world.
Wow. And Mike, you brought this as the Cocopah Emergency Management Officer. You're the one that secured the funding to make sure that the Somerton Cocopah Fire Department has this now, another tool in the toolbox. Tell us about that.
So the chief and the captain here at Somerton reached out to me and asked if we could help support while they were doing a training. They had a, what was it called, demo?
It was two trial units where they got to trial the device for 30 days, or 90 days, sorry. So
during that trial period, they decided that this was a piece of equipment that they really wanted. And they asked if I had any funding. So I started looking for funding, and I kind of ran into a lot of dead ends. And then finally I reached out to the Intertribal Council of Arizona and was able to secure the funding, and I'm just happy that they got it. It's a tool that is going to be greatly used down here in Somerton and for the Cocopanian tribe, and
Definitely going to make a difference in a lot of people's lives.
Especially with the distance that we have from the hospital. You know, we're talking about 15-minute driving distance or 20 depending on traffic. So like I said, it's going to help very, very much with the Lucas device.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, all of you, for participating in this. And if you like these podcasts and these videos, you can go ahead and find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and all major platforms. Just look for Cocopah now. You can also find us on Facebook. And if you want to learn more about Cocopah news, events, and activities, you can go ahead to cocopah.com. In the upper right-hand corner, you can click on the subscription. You can get our newsletter. Comes out once a month, and we will not share your contact information with any third parties. Thank you for joining us.